It was around 3 a.m. last night, and I was still up, mindlessly flipping through TV channels. The house was silent except for the low hum of the screen. But then, out of nowhere, I heard a strange noise outside. It wasn't loud, just subtle enough to make my skin crawl. At first, I brushed it off, assuming it was just the wind rustling the trees or maybe a stray animal rummaging through the trash. But something about it didn't sit right with me. Curiosity got the best of me, so I carefully peeked through the blinds. At first, I didn't see anything unusual, just the empty street bathed in the glow of the streetlights. But then, I spotted something small moving near the sidewalk. It wasn't an animal. It was a child, a toddler, barely 2 years old, wandering alone in the cold, wearing nothing but a diaper. For a second, my brain refused to process what I was seeing. Was I dreaming? Had I dozed off and imagined it? But no, he was real, stumbling along the pavement, completely unaware of the danger. My heart started racing. Where were his parents? How did he end up outside at this hour? Without a second thought, I rushed outside. The air was crisp, and the ground must have been freezing under his tiny bare feet. He wasn't crying, just aimlessly wandering, as if he had no idea where he was supposed to be. I crouched down, speaking softly, trying not to startle him. "Hey buddy, where's your mom or dad?" Of course, he was too young to respond, just blinking up at me with wide, sleepy eyes. Panic was setting in. I couldn't just leave him there. Carefully, I picked him up, holding him close to keep him warm. I started knocking on doors, hoping someone would recognize him. But at that hour, most of my neighbors were fast asleep. 5 minutes passed, and no one answered. That's when I realized I needed to call 911. While I was on the phone, something caught my attention. About 4 houses down, I noticed a front door was slightly ajar, barely open but enough to make my stomach drop. Could that be his house? I hurried over and knocked loudly. Within seconds, a woman burst out, her face a mixture of horror and relief. The moment she saw the toddler in my arms, she gasped and snatched him up, tears streaming down her face. "Oh my God! How did he get out?" she kept repeating, clearly in shock. Turns out, while the entire household was asleep, the little guy had somehow managed to unlock the front door and wander outside. She hadn't even realized he was missing. The police arrived soon after to make sure everything was okay, but in the end, it was just a terrifying accident, one that could have ended much worse. Moral of the story: if you have small kids, double-check your locks. And if you ever notice something strange in the middle of the night, don't ignore it. You never know when a simple gut feeling might help save a life.